everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a quick look here at ICP, Internet Computer, seeing what's going on. And this is a request from one of my community members here. Let's see here, who has asked that? It's KR Call 51. Thank you very much for the request. We'll definitely be able to get this up here for you. And obviously, it'll be available in our YouTube videos section here if you're ever curious where to find it, or obviously on my YouTube. If you want to become a better trader, though, jump on over to cryptocash.tech, link down below. You can trade alongside some amazing traders here. We actually took some healthy profits here recently from Lever just a couple days ago. 7 days to take 120%, all targets achieved. AVAX short still open at 51% in 2.5, roughly 3 days. So again, list goes on. There's a lot of other shorts that we took profit on, but I just want to kind of highlight that that's an awesome feature. Thanks again so much for the wonderful feedback from my community members regarding those profits. I'm so happy this is working out well for you. It's nice to be able to share that too and just kind of be part of something bigger, right? So speaking of bigger, let's go ahead and see if this is potential for increase, okay? Because big picture here, ICP is pretty low, all right? We look at where it came from, started in the hundreds of dollars, and it's all the way down to just a couple of dollars, basically. $3 is a rough estimate. So what does that mean for us? Well, let's take a quick look at some patterns here. We can see we got a triple bottom, of course, forming on the shorter time frame. In larger time frame, of course, we got a falling wedge. I don't really think that's that strong of a falling wedge, though. Honestly, it's pretty big. But just something to note that we do have a triple bottom here, or effectively a double bottom that occurred where the price action is retesting the same low twice. Okay, the likelihood of a bounce from there is greater because of that. Okay, so just again something to kind of think about. Do not attach yourself to the fact that price is going up because of that one thing, though. That's not exactly the case. So we'll talk about why that may or may not be the situation here. So let's talk about the MACD here. First of all, we're diverging pretty strong here. That is standard, but we've been converging for the last, what, September, maybe roughly about three weeks. Okay, so you got to keep in mind this uptrend, even though it wasn't super strong, was still befuddled here, and now we're swinging downwards. This kind of confirms we're bearish. Now, to me, a confirmation of being bearish is staying below 50 on the RSI. That's my personal indicator that I like to use, kind of just get certain bias on oversold versus overbought. And right now, though, we got to understand, though, that RSI is low and money flow index is higher. That basically tells us that a breakout could occur here soon, because as money flows into a coin, you build that foundation of volume. Even though RSI is tapering off, it's still a good likelihood of the price action bouncing. Okay? I'm not saying we're just going to shoot to the moon here moving forward, but if we can establish and continue to maintain ourselves above this level here, we'll be in pretty good shape. Okay? So again, a closure, I would say, because if you look at this, we haven't seen a one-day closure below this level here at about 290 yet. Okay, it's always wicked down and recovered. Same thing with today. So if that continues to drop below, we could see that. We could see a liquidity sweep too. It's hard to see here, of course, on the charts, but there is some liquidity down there at that level that could be swept. And if we look at fair value gap, there's previous sell side liquidity there. Okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if we see this type of situation where the price action gives us a little bit of a a range bound here, and then the very last range comes all the way down to sweep this lower liquidity. Okay? Again, you kind of see that happen a lot where we get this range bound, breaks from the range, and then it sweeps that entire amount of liquidity and then eventually recovers. So just know there very much is possibility of a price action to drop down to the 275 range. So to me, a better entry would be in the 275, but once more, we don't know for sure that's going to hit that level. Once more, if Bitcoin does drop, just know that will absolutely be a thing. Okay? Speaking of drops, let's go ahead and just double check here. Kind of just confirm, if you look at Bitcoin's behavior, sideways and down last 3 days. If we look at ICP, we got sideways, but also down a little bit further, if you will. Okay? So what that basically just means, if you kind of compare the two, you can see that when there is a drop from Bitcoin, ICP has been able to stabilize and maintain itself at this level multiple times. Whereas Bitcoin is slowly ascending, even though it's not super awesome right now, we can still see that there's kind of a range here, so to speak, where it doesn't want to come any lower. Right? So all the more reason to anticipate a potential bounce, but not to expect one. Okay? Let's look at some moving averages here and kind of see we're below all three. Typically not a great sign to try to trade into that. You want to be naturally above this level here. So honestly, waiting for 320, like a confirmation, a few days trading above that level would be much more helpful. Okay? But initially, we want to break through the 20-day SMA. That's a first start. We don't have that yet. Okay? We can also kind of note here as well, there's somewhat of a resistance shelf here from previous data, so we'll just kind of be mindful of that. Resistance at about 330. And then if we take a look at the 4-hour time frame, We can see we're below all three moving averages. This is pretty common for a lot of coins right now. We can also see that we're trying to converge. We haven't officially yet, but we might here soon. That's a possibility. But again, you do not take a trade just on a 4-hour convergence. I do love trading into that, but I like to have other confirming factors. We don't see those yet. Okay. So to me, if the price were to recover and bounce, we need to break above this 0.236 Fibonacci level there. So 297 is a key level to close above. That would put us above some moving averages, both on the 4-hour and possibly the daily. That might break us above 50 on the RSI. But truth be told, I do not like trading into scenarios like this. If I were to take a trade, I would set a limit order at 275, 280 range and hope for a fill. If I miss out on the fill, no big deal. Walk away clean. No trade is a good trade, right? But for right now, it's best to expect the price action to continue to digress lower, just based on us not really establishing any higher lows or higher highs at all. There's no confirming factors that ICP is ready to recover. Once again, though, double bottom, continuously hitting this level is definitely telling us that we have potential for the price to recover. Okay. So again, if you are going to risk it, please use a low position size or low leverage size. It's important to recognize that this is one of those trades that it can recover, it can do well, but it has more propensity to go lower just based on the overall sense that Bitcoin is kind of on the razor's edge right now. Okay. We can see a slight relief rally here, of course, for the last 3 or 4 hours. Nothing crazy there. PD sequential doesn't tell us there's much in the overextended state. We had a previous 9, we've been sideways ever since. And if we take a look at Ichimoku cloud, we're still below the cloud. Conversion line's below the baseline, but the lagging span has essentially intersected with the price action. So unless the price drops in the next 5 or 6 hours, we can expect the signal, the sell signal, of course. In other words, like if you have a short position open, you should have closed it or taken profit by now. It's kind of what it's telling us here. Again, it's not confirming a long yet, but it is telling us if we can go sideways here for the next, just say 12 to 24 hours, we'll have a chance to be able to break through that level. So I'm going to go ahead and set an alert here. If the price does wake up there and we get naturally above the cloud, I might reevaluate. We may be above our moving averages at that point and essentially in a better position. But right now, it's best not to touch this coin. And if you're going to, just recommend a potential, with this liquidity sweep of the lower levels here. Make sure you set like a limit order, I'd say on the 278 to 280 range, as it's really common for there to be a swift liquidity sweep and for the price action to recover and then continue back. It's kind of just like this weird, it's not even a weird phenomenon. If we think about what happens logically, when you have like these market movers, they're invested right here. They push the price action up here, they sell here hard until the price gets down to this level. And right here, when everyone's at extreme fear and they're ready to start shorting, they go long and destroy everybody again. It's a really, really common characteristic. You see it a lot. I talk about that in most of my videos, so obviously if you watch my Bitcoin video, you'll be aware of that. But generally speaking, that's where we're at here, okay? So hopefully this is beneficial for you. Quick heads up, if you're part of my community, I am partnering with a new exchange here for the US. For all US members, basically no KYC, no VPN required. Really good company that I'm working with. I'm just trying to make sure we have a good benefit or a bonus for you, so that way there's some registration rewards. I'd like to make sure to help our community. All that stuff will be available on our Discord, Telegram, and Twitter. I'll go public with that soon. But for right now, if you do want to become a better trader, jump on into these trade signals. I have a trading academy as well where I teach you everything that I know a little bit more specifically in detail. Those are all available as a premium member. So jump on over there, check that out. By the way, thanks again so much for the support. Like, subscribe, follow if you haven't already. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.